What's going on, cross counter audience? My name is Shoryusengan. Some of you might have heard of me before, probably most of you haven't. I'm a Ken enthusiast from a little city called London. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy my how to approach the matchup tutorial. Without further ado, let's get started. Yo, welcome to my how to approach the matchup tutorial. Now, before I get into how I go about my method, know that this information might not apply to you, or maybe only some bits will. So take what you want or don't want and enjoy it. So this is going to take up the main chunk of the video, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Knowing your normals, your opponent's normals, punishing, spacing where you want to be in the matchup, where you don't want to be in the matchup, how to get around fireballs, for instance, like neutral jumping instead of getting into fireball wars, stuff like that. So for the sake of this video, I'm choosing Ryu as my dummy partner just because it's a classic, and why not? And although it doesn't seem that big, this matchup actually has a lot of metagame. So let's start off with Ryu's most important tool over Ken, is his crouching medium kick. So you can see just outside of one big square, the crouching medium kick whiffs when I'm standing, and when I'm crouching, the crouching medium kick also whiffs. So one big square is essentially where you want to be standing in this matchup, because you're still within step kick range and you can't get tagged by any of Ryu's normals. I think standing roundhouse tags you, but sweep doesn't. The next important one is sweep, obviously, because that's his furthest range on his normal that will beat your normals, and it's quite rapid. So you can see here in the video, I'm just standing outside of one big square, standing up, sweep is not hitting. Like I said, one big square is probably where you want to be in this matchup, and crouching as well. If I crouch, sweep also doesn't hit. So I'm not going to carry on too much with the normals, just because crouching medium kick and roundhouse are the most important in this matchup. Now I'm going to get on where you don't want to be in this matchup, and that is the corner against Ryu, mainly because his damage amplifies, especially with meter. So you might find that most Ryus have patterns in the corner. Just be wary when you're in the corner. Focus on what your opponent likes to do. Block just to see what type of block strings he likes to run. They'll normally have 4 or 5 things they do, and then when they know they can't hit you, they'll bait you to jump and Shoryuken you. Don't throw fireballs at this range as well. It's a big no-no. You only want to be throwing fireballs at far range where he can't jump and tag you or tatsu you, or in close where he's trying to poke you so that it hits. So fireball wars is a very big no-no for me, especially when you're near the corner, just because Ken's fireballs are so slow to recover compared to Ryu's, and he can easily react to me throwing a fireball and punishing me. So do be wary when you're especially in the corner, like I said, because the damage output can amplify. Golden rule, fireballs from in close or afar. Now, I'm not a big fan of auto block strings, just because if you carry on doing them, after a while your game does become a bit predictable, and characters, well, I say characters, I mean players can read you easily. One move that I do like to do is, when you walk back, you standing roundhouse. This is a very good normal for you, just because people are going to start crouch teching with other normals than just light kick, and to blow them up, standing roundhouse is perfect for that. You need to find other ways of getting damage other than just Kara throw or frame traps, because it's not always going to work. Be wary though, using standing roundhouse a lot. Your opponent will obviously catch on, and they can focus that stuff easily. You don't really want to be doing loads of stuff that you don't have to do just because. So this, using the overhead, I really I'm a big fan of the buff that we've got now with our overheads not being so minus on block. Before it was -4, like the forward roundhouse one. Now it's 0, and it's, you know, it's a really good tool that we can use now, because we can mix that in with frame traps and with Kara throws. And I do it a bit later on. You might see it a few times in a first to 5. It just makes your opponent think more. So what I do is I like to set my dummy to do random moves and then try and whiff punish it. And you can just see Ryu here, he's a lot stronger on the ground than Ken, so just be wary of this when you are trying to footsie against another expert Ryu player. It's always good to throw in fireballs, or to just stand there and block every once in a while. Now frame trap wise, this is where Ken can actually utilize the red focus, the EX red focus really well. You can do, you know, close stand medium kick, far medium punch, crouching medium punch, loads of different frame trap tools, into Kara Shoryuken, into EX red focus. The reason why I use Kara is because you don't Kara it like here, it whisks. This is probably my favorite one, however, the standing roundhouse counter hit into Kara Shoryuken, into Ultra 2, and it does a big chunk of damage. I believe it does somewhere over 500, you'll see here, but it's always good to have this on lock. In order to have a decent Ken, I always say you need to have a strong counter hit game. Obviously, if you want to net these big counter hit damage combos, you're going to need to be good at conditioning. It's something you need to be good with Ken anyway, in terms of baiting people to tech and going for Kara throws. But yeah, like I said, you'll get better at conditioning the more you play and the more you pick up on your opponent's bad tendencies. So in my opinion, Ultra 2 is the preferred Ultra now in Shoto matches. I mean, it was before really, but now even more so with the -5 or -7 DP FADC nerf, and the buff to the Ultra 2 that it starts up a tiny bit faster in terms of movement speed. It's the way to go. Here I've just set the dummy to do random fireballs at random times, just recording myself doing Hadoukens at random times, just to get my brain working faster in reacting to fireballs, so I get used to seeing it and reacting rather than trying to preempt it, because that will make all the big difference when you come down to later on in the match where you both have no health and you have to make that big read. Now this one might not be that important for some, but for me research is key, whether watching top level players duke it out, asking top level players or people better than you for advice, etc, etc. Research will always better prepare you for stuff to come. So you can go to the Record channel and look at other people, try and find your character in their matchups, or you can go to the leaderboards. Unfortunately you have to do it by player points and not by the battle points, because it doesn't show the replays. But you can go to battle points on the leaderboards, find the Ken players that you know and follow them. Just so you're aware, PlayerJun52 is back making Ken replays again, and in my opinion he's the best Ken, closely followed by Momochi. I know Momochi is the tournament level Ken, but for me PlayerJun is just next level. He does stuff that nobody expects or even knows about. So the last part is finding a friend, understanding the meta, and last but not least, watching your replays. So if you find a player that is top level or better than you with a character that you find hard to beat, do not shy away from playing them in the bad matchup. This is very important, and I think is most players' downfall. I'm not sure whether it's down to pride, insecurities, or whatever, but not picking your main chicken against these people is just going to be detrimental to you growing as a person. And by person I mean player, obviously, this isn't real life, come on now. Now granted, you'll probably need more than one, as there are multiple styles people use to play a character, but finding a friend that has the knowledge is the difference between having a fair chance or getting blown up in EVO Grand Finals.
Shots fired!
So if you were paying attention to this video like you should have been, you can see that this is a perfect replay. Ken's defense is not that strong and his offense is very strong. However, Ryu's defense is flipping immense, especially in this matchup. So what I like to do is play the defensive game and be very, very patient, neutral jumping fireballs, etc, etc, until I can get the Ryu to want to go on the offensive, and then I can use that against him, find an opening, and then create the offense myself. I finished this Ryu off in the first round at 60 seconds. That sounds really disgusting. Let's continue forward. The second round, it only took me 79 seconds to get the win, reducing it by 19 seconds just by knowing the matchup and making him go on the offensive and creating my offense off of that. Now this is a couple of rounds from a first to 5 I did with my friend Madbeats, who is, in my opinion, one of the best Ryu players I've ever fought in the UK. His fireball game is immense and he's very, very patient. Obviously this is just a couple of games from the first to 5. The full first to 5 will be a link at the end of the video, but this is key to adapting and changing how you play, which is key if you're a tournament player, because you're going to need multiple styles to beat all the other styles of characters and players you face. Now, this is the first round, I think, of the first of 5, so at the beginning I just want to put into his head that I'm going to play a patient game. I'm not going to jump very much. My main aim is to push him towards the corner without taking too much damage and while staying on the floor, just because I want him to not try and make me go for baits as much with his fireballs. I kind of want to make him, you know, go on the offensive at me. I should have anti-aired there, and he managed to get out of the corner, which is giving him the life deficit back. I managed to get it a tiny bit back with a cheeky step kick, but yeah, just be wary. Once you have the Ryu in the corner, it's such a valuable resource to have him there. If he gets out, or you make it easier for him to get out, you're gonna struggle. I should have anti-aired there again. There's a couple of points in this match where I could have done some crucial plays in order to swing it into my favor, but I've managed to swing that back around by walking underneath his jump and continuing to pressure him. A fireball managed to make him get out. I didn't anti-air him again. I could have finished the round with a Kara throw back there in the corner, but I messed up my execution. Another missed anti-air, which I didn't do, and then I finally do anti-air when he doesn't do a cross-up. Now, execution is very important. I know this is online, so both of mine and his reactions could have been a lot better offline. It does make a hell of a lot difference, but let's see how we both adapt going into round 2. You can see straight off here I tried to play the more aggressive style just to see how it would work out. Already it's netted him the corner for me, and put me at a life deficit. I definitely didn't want to go offensive just yet. So I'm going to use my fireballs and fight him just outside of his normal range to try and get damage back. Not doing a very good job of it. Should have been anti-aired a few times there. Frame trap, very key. Again, I'm going in way too hard, and he's just netting big damage off me being too aggressive. This isn't really a bad thing though, especially in a first of 5 and at the beginning, because you want to see how your opponent can deal with your styles. Obviously, Madbeats is doing very well dealing with my offensive styles, so maybe a bit later on I'll switch back to defense and then go back to offense when he's least expecting it. A couple of frame traps that I've tried on him obviously didn't work, but now that I know that going in later on to the match, it'll be a lot easier for me to net my throws on him. So patiently, once again, pushing him to the corner, netted a few standing roundhouses which did a big chunk of damage. Now I've made Madbeats want to jump more, and I'm just going to patiently walk him to the corner, slowly but surely, to get the ground. Missed my Kara Dragon Punch there, that would have kept them on the floor and gave me some more damage. Tried to punish the sweep, didn't manage to do so. Sometimes you just got to feel the Shoryuken, guys, don't shy away from it. If it works, it can net you some big opportunities. Obviously, if it doesn't work, you're pretty much screwed. But you see there, keeping up with the fireballs and staying in poke kick range has won me the match and won me the first round in this first of 5. Now I'm going to show you a replay where it didn't go so well for me. Watching bad replays is very important, guys. I know some of you ego guys out there don't want to see yourself lose, but the next step of leveling up is watching your bad habits, your tendencies and your weak areas in the matchup and in general. I have a checklist I use for this, so watching how many times I anti-air, how many times I don't anti-air, watching how many times I don't punish certain normals or focuses. You can see here in this matchup I've gone in way too hard. It's only 81 seconds left of the match and I'm already at half health. Now granted, I have got him near the corner, but then again I didn't anti-air him and I let him get out and he's pushed me into the corner. A gutsy Shoryuken to build some of the health lead back, but he is sitting firmly in the seat. This is very big damage, and this can now swing the matchup in my favor. Not pressing buttons, he's staying patient. Frame traps are still not working. I should have punished there. I'm still not used to seeing the DP FADC dash forward. And then I threw a fireball at a stupid place where he could react and punish it easily. So this round I decided to play a tiny bit more patient, but I'm still trying to push him to the corner too fast, and he knows I'm just trying to walk him to the corner. So he's throwing out EX fireballs to catch me off guard, although I have the health, the meter advantage now. A big missed opportunity with that DP there that I should have anti-added with, and he got not one, not two, but 3 jump-ins. He's going to kill me. Red focus to do extra damage. He missed the Shoryuken, but yeah, this game, in my opinion, I should have lost a lot earlier on. I mean, I do mess up the Ultra here, but I shouldn't even won this round anyway. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for staying patient with me. A big shout out to Cross Counter for giving me the platform in order to do this. Once again, click the link below if you want to watch the full first to 5 without me yammering on. It'll be a lot more peaceful for you, and you won't have to listen to this annoying voice. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.